Hello everybody, how are you today? Hopefully you're doing well. We'll continue with our lesson types of energy. We will first talk about thermal energy. Thermal energy is the energy of motion in the particles, the internal energy that is released due to heat. The faster these particles move, the more thermal energy they have, and the warmer the objects become. For example, if we heat anything, the more heat is there, more thermal energy will be there, and more energy will be there in those particles due to the thermal energy. Sound energy. Sound energy is produced by vibrating objects. Vibration is the back and forth movement of the particles. Sound energy is another example of kinetic energy or energy of motion, because the particles move. Let us see these examples. When we hit the drum, the membranes of the drum, they vibrate, they move back and forward to produce sound. On the other hand, the guitar does the same. When you press on those strings, it makes you're pressing on the strings makes it go back and forward from motion, and it produces sound. The same thing happens with the tuning fork. Sound is produced by a vibrating prong of the tuning fork. Energy transfer and energy transform. Remember that energy transfer is the moving of one form of energy from one point to another, while energy transform is the change of energy from one form to another. Let us take examples of these, how energy transforms or energy transfers. Example number one, the wind toy. When the wind toy has a spring, it has potential energy when you wind it. And what happens when you release the toy? The potential energy will transform into kinetic energy and the toy will move. So you see, energy has changed from potential to kinetic here. So this is an example of energy transform. Example number two, the Pom Pom Launcher. When the elastic band has potential energy when it is stretched, the elasticity, potential energy due to elasticity, if you remember. So when you release it, the potential energy now will transform to kinetic energy. It will change from potential to kinetic energy. Example 3, the drop ball. Now objects have stored potential energies as we raise the ball up high. Due to the height, it will store more potential energy once we release it. So when it moves, when it falls down, the potential energy will transform, will change to kinetic energy. Another example of energy transformation. Example 4, marbles. If you remember the Newton's cradle, the energy was transferring from one ball to another. This is the same example here. Moving marbles, they have kinetic energy. So when, for example, the blue ball strikes with the green one, the energy is transferred from the blue ball to the green one. And this is an example of how energy transfers.